think we're live.
Oh,
Yeah, wait for some comments.
good day.
My ears are on.
Maybe. Can't be too bad.
Come on, where's the comments? Tell us we're on live. Curious. Oh, there's a comment.
We must be live.
All right. Well, I've been on for a few shows,
Yeah.
so now we know Dan here.
Most of you guys know me. If you've ever bought anything from Vanquish, it has my signature on the bottom saying thank you.
Center the camera.
I don't know. I just sit that
So
close.
I've been watching comps too.
I don't sit that close, so. Bumping elbows.
We've known each other long enough. We can sit close.
Okay. All right. That's true. So, yeah, anybody who's ever bought anything from us, y'all have my signature at the bottom of the page. If I did it right or wrong.
A majority. Some of mine and my sons and
Well, for a little while. Yeah, that's true.
we fill the
That's
gaps
true.
when you're gone.
Yes. Anytime I decide to run away. So, but anytime I get it right or wrong, I'm always apologize if I got it wrong, and I'm trying my darndest to get it right.
Actually, we don't have to deal with Josh. He's not here today.
No
again.
Josh.
That's why we're here again, filling the gaps.
Yes. Hey, you know, when one's gone, the others take over. So it's always a good day.
You want to talk about first?
Well, we showed something last week. This is what Jim was showing you guys last week. It's the servo mount for the new F10 axles.
Not ready yet. Still in production.
They are in production. They are very close and running, so they will be coming out very soon. I've had a lot of people ask me about these in the last couple of days. I posted a picture of my buggy with them on it, and I've gotten a lot of messages back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So if you can see on the back, they do sit nice and clean. They're very low profile.
You're changing the focus, man.
I know it's hard to get it just with the cage in the way. It makes it very difficult. But with these on there, they take all that pressure and put it on both sides, so it's super, super stout. I haven't had any flex at all on this servo, and this is almost 900 ounces of torque, and it takes it like it's nothing. So a couple of people asked me about not being closed in on both sides, and I have no worries about that whatsoever. So
I don't think there's enough load to really flex it that much. I mean, anything's flexible to be honest, but
that servo is pretty stout, and I bound it up pretty hard, and it comes right up, no problem. So
we're also trying to keep it lightweight as much as we can.
they are. They're
for comp crawling more and stuff. They're
super stout, and I'm excited I finally get to show it off. I've had it for quite a while, and finally get to show off. You know, another thing is they talked about last week the release of the pink wheels coming.
New options.
Yes, the 2.2. And these,
you guys could thank Mike to make that happen,
are now ready. So this is the 2.2 tank. It'll be pink with the clear beadlock ring, and it will come just like all the others where they come in the set of 4, ready to go with hubs. $189.99, just like the other ones. These should be on the site today.
I think he's making them live right now.
Okay.
So
perfect.
You guys heard it first here. So
if you guys want to be the first ones to grab a set,
he will be making it live very soon. If he hasn't already done it.
Keep a close eye, because I know they will be. They'll sell out fast. There is more coming. If they do sell out, don't freak out.
Black or clear rings?
Clear.
Yep.
Always clear.
Basically as shown.
Yeah, just like this. They come with their standard VPS 5000 hardware. So nice and clean, simple. I walked into the assembly room earlier, and it was very pink.
It's actually a good pink.
It looked cool. I was pretty shocked at how nice it was. So it was a lot of pink though.
We did talk about on the show last time, F10Ts. We did talk about how we're going to package them. So those are coming. There's not back from plating yet. We are going to package them with clear knuckles also to kind of match the bead locks and everything. So we're waiting for the parts to come back. Those might be on the site this week. Just waiting on plating and packaging. So that'll be there.
F10T pink.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
They said we're gonna do clear knuckles to kind of match that theme.
It's a cool look. This pink came out really nice.
Yes.
So, don't forget the servo horns. They're both back on the site. They're both fully loaded and ready to go. These little guys are
both sizes on right.
Both 20, yeah, the 2520 and the 2524.
Yep.
Both ready to go. They're both live on the site at this moment, and they should be good to go for a while. There's a good chunk of those up there. The 1.9 wheels should be coming back in pretty quick.
Yep, we've had to make some production changes to make sure we keep up on some of these things to keep them restocked. So they're not here yet; they are incoming.
So, yeah, the wheels are you guys go through them pretty quick, so it's cool. But I brought this little guy in just for Josh had it on his video. This is Brandon's did his. I don't know if it's still up there. Nope, it's not up there anymore. He did the first one with the reversed VFD in it, and I was like, "That's a cool idea. I like it." So I got a hold of Braden Windward and had him do me a cage up and sent him the transmission, and he turned around and sent me this back.
Promotions tab yet. Won't tell Mike.
It's a little bit different doing the reversed VFD because you have instant overdrive with the rear axle, which you have to change out. You're able to go to standard gears in the rear, which helps balance it. And then I went overdrive in the front ring and pinion, which gives me about 9%, I think, right around there, 9 or 10% overdrive on the front. Which with the rear steer buggy, you don't need a lot. Everybody's like, you need more rear steer. No, or more overdrive. Not really, not with the rear steer. Because when you do that, you end up pulling, and then when you try to push it all with the rear, it doesn't push. Mm-hmm. It's trying to drag the front, and it doesn't do anything. So keeping them as consistent and clean as possible to each other, it seemed to help the way the buggy works.
There's so many variables to every different setup.
It is. Everything, this one's got the shift GT3S's in it. They're 850 ounces at 8.4, and that's what I had the Castrations 2.0 in here with turned up to 8.4. Hobby Wing Fusion 2300 Pro in it. VFD with lighting gears in it. It's MIP shafts. Everything else, all new titanium on the links. A couple of them had to be, I didn't have old titanium or what we had anymore. So when we got the new titanium, I had a long rod ends on a couple of them, and I was like, I hate that look. So I was able to get that adjusted. But other than that, it's shocks are from Pricey in Australia. Really nice guy, does a nice job on them. So far, they seep a tiny little bit, but they don't leak. So the only reason I can't run ours, I need 100 on the rear to make up. Otherwise, it looks like one of them goofy trucks going down the road in South Carolina. So
then Josh would like it.
Yeah. What do they call those? I don't even know. But
don't know if Mike's reading comments, so hopefully I've sent him a note about the 2.2s on the website. Hopefully he's making changes. I'm not sure. He's not in this room, so. Anything else?
No. What do you got?
More comments for you?
Yeah.
Will you ever build an MOA? We have.
I think we had. I think there's still a bird and an M.
I think
XR10. Both.
I think he's asking if we would build one of our own version, but I was being sarcastic.
We did. You did actually, though.
Built almost every part of the axle, so
and made it way stronger, which was a good thing.
Why are you focus on lock? Taking up all the bike.
Huh?
Darn. I keep going like out of focus.
That's you.
Maybe I'm too pale. It's reflective.
My oldness is wearing off on you.
My own oldness. Right up on me. So,
Beats are hot on the site. All right, cool.
it's like we need more questions so we can go on. We have to pick up some new trucks. Not new trucks. Other builds.
Yeah. Most of you guys know me
Dan's a super RC nerd.
as a U4 guy. I love U4 racing. It's been something I've done for 10 years now. And I'm very passionate about racing. I love when I stopped U4 racing back in the day, I went buggy racing. And I love to go fast. I love the competition. I love the camaraderie of racing, even drag racing. Everybody says, it's 2 seconds and you're dead. Yeah, in a way, but you still have the downtime. You still have hanging out with good friends. But this has always been my go-to.
You love building too.
I do. I love to build. I might like building as much as I like driving, honestly.
I like building you guys parts and seeing you guys do stuff.
This one's a lot different than anything I've built in the past. This car has full built rift axles, front and rear. And if you want to build the stoutest car, I don't think there's a bigger, better axle out right now for beating on. This car takes a beating. It weighs 11 pounds. It's not light by any means. There's nothing.
Is the front internal stock or?
Yes, it has.
Or
Well,
is
it
that
has.
taking a beating?
It has our ring gear and locker in it, front and rear. But it has the shafts.
I mean, the rear has our shaft.
Our shafts in the rear. Haven't bent one or broke one yet. It has the stock fronts in it. It has the stock knuckles on it. The Proline Arma 3S shocks all the way around on it. 4,000 kV motor on 3S RX8. ProTech 370. It's our sway bar. I haven't had one come loose yet. The tanks, and I have these. If you look at the rings, I don't know if you can get a good picture of the ring or not. I have the inside one flipped upside down, so it's not keyed into the keys. It's actually backwards, and it gives a little more three-dimensional depth.
I was just wondering if you had it done wrong.
No, I did it on purpose. I wanted that little step. I thought it looked cool when I did it. Somebody else sent me a picture of theirs. I was like, at least on the 1.9, it looked cool. So I was like, I'm going to try it on the 2.2s, and it worked out very well. But this is, they call an RC Fabworks Beast chassis.
From Duncan,
Mike Duncan builds them, and I try to destroy them every time he does. And I bent this one, and I beat on it pretty good. And
can you show the bend?
Yeah,
you can see his somewhere caved in.
You can see this. I'm not nice to this by any means. I'm very mean to this truck. Anybody who tries with us at the track or around or seen me drive it.
Dan's mean to me too, by the way.
I'm mean to everything. I've been lucky enough when I met Jim and Steve. It was at Axial or National World. What was it? West Coast Qualifier 2011, I think it was 12. I broke a shaft in my truck, and Steve says, "Hey, I got some prototypes. You want to try them? If they break, it's not my fault." And they threw me a bag, and I put them in, and I beat the crap out of those things for 3 days. And before the event was over, I told Jim, I said, I appreciate it. And he's like, stop by the shop. So I took him by, pulled him out, let him see what the wear was on them. And from that point on, he handed me the locker, the 3-piece locker, I believe, right after that. And I put those in my Wraith. I don't remember if he remembers the day I brought my Wraith over in the front of the shop and showed him how I test things.
That's why we still give you parts to test. Dan gets a lot of prototype parts.
For 15 minutes straight, I literally held the throttle wide open until that thing quit moving.
Yeah.
I have never been one of the guys who go, oh, yeah, it's cool, it works great. If you ask him, if it's not, I'll tell him, hey, I snapped it. You know, and he's always, what do we need to do to make it better? That's how we keep going.
Yeah, part of testing, I tell people we do a lot of testing. We don't like yes men. We don't want yes men that goes, oh, it's perfect. We want to know it sucks or something's wrong. Some things can be changed, some things can't. But
A lot, yeah. Yeah.
okay, hit backwards.
And beat on it.
So Mike was asking me if I was seeing Facebook comments. I don't think I am. Just so you guys know, I think I'm only seeing YouTube comments. I don't know why. So if you're trying to send messages or type something, I would probably do on the YouTube one. I was going to try. I think Griffin Bean asked twice about servo mount for capper axle. We have nothing in the works right now, so we've been kind of focused on our stuff. So we're trying to still do regular aftermarket stuff, but if it's like a specialty part like that, we're kind of focusing on our stuff.
The only person I know who has anything like that would be the 110 scale. Gary from 110 scale, he has.
I'm sure someone has one. I think Griffin Bean buys a lot from us. He kind of likes our stuff, so
yeah,
that's why he's asking.
They're the only ones I know that does them.
All right, we're quiet because we're reading to see if there's anything to talk about.
That's you have Green Bean. You do have a point there. I've taken a great pride in that.
Well, Dan can also break good builds too.
Yes, I can.
That had nothing to do with anything other than him.
I will say though, my ripper, I gave everybody my ripper at Proline by the Fire and told them, go have fun, drive it like it's yours, like it. And everybody went out and had fun with it. And it came back in one piece. It has scratches and dents, but it's all character. And I had the biggest smile watching people drive it.
I don't think people realize that when we give people our rippers, because I got the prototype one, like go damage it. They're like, I don't want to. It's like, no, go ahead. I don't care. Just do it.
It's what
they don't want to do it.
It brings a smile to my face to watch people actually drive it, and they see it go through the rocks, and it's like tink tink, and they're like, and then they see me drive it, and they're like, holy cow.
Maybe you have a tip for someone. There are any tips on keeping the wheels on those ripped axles? Mine loses his wheel nuts all the time.
If you're taking your wheels on and off a lot, you need to change your wheel nuts. This one, they do come loose. And I think part of it is just the way the hexes are on these because they're so thin. I really need to look and see if it's rubbing on the back of on that fake brake caliper. If the actual hex or hub is rubbing on that. You may need to surface just a tiny bit off the back of the SLW hub so they don't go on quite as far. I think that's what's happening. I have on the Rock Ray, the Laser Nut car, all of them with the real narrow hubs.
I mean, but fresh nuts would probably be your best choice to at least have a good crush on that Teflon seal or whatever plastic they're using.
Once they come off once or twice, that it literally keys that plastic. These are Yeti trailing arms on this one.
Yeah, and those are still in production, by the way. Those. What's that? Like extended threaded so we can double nut them.
I don't think it would help, honestly.
It wouldn't hurt though, but you could also create more pressure on the stub and actually snap it off and make it more brittle. We've had people complain in the past, like, "Oh, your stub shafts suck," and it's like, well, it turns out they got a wrench in there and they got some kind of force multiplier and they're cranking the crap out of the thread, and what they're doing is just stretching the thread. Everything's in tensile strength, and all of a sudden you hit it hard and dink. So I don't know how that would work by adding more force into the thread, if that would actually be a good thing or a bad thing.
It seems that I have more issues on the front coming loose than the rear. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the steering, if it's from shaking.
Could be vibrations, and
that's what
it's constant.
Because this thing turns pretty good. I don't have bump stock on it. So they're not in it, so I wanted everything I can get out of it.
So for rookies.
Hey. I don't know anything about bump stock. I Tape bump stops at everything.
Yeah.
My Dremel and Jim's parts are very good friends.
No,
They are.
That's not. They're not good friends. They hate each other.
I do it to everything.
Your ding dong put some good dents in it.
He did.
I don't know what that is.
West Desert Wheeler.
I haven't met him yet.
Center of the hood.
I think I've only talked to him.
Yeah, one right there, one right there. He's like, I didn't notice it until I was watching the video back. He goes, I think I owe you something.
Oh, the rippers?
My ripper, he got a dent in both from him.
I got some good dents on mine.
I'm like, you know,
I think I actually dented the A-pillar, right, on mine.
I have no problem with it. I actually enjoy it. I let all the Operation 11 Charlie guys take it up on the hill. I let them take the 4-wheel steer buggy up. I go have fun.
Operation Charlie guy is one of the guys that gave him my ripper. He didn't even want to drive it hard. I'm like, dude, go scratch it.
Robert, yeah, Robert's he's very I don't want to beat it up and drive it. That's what it's for. I get a kick out of watching people go have fun. When I got the Pro Line by the Fire, I took 3 trucks and dropped them off at booths, and that's where they sat most of the
Hey,
weekend.
Mike.
Hey, Michael.
That's not my hand.
Jim, your hand.
He's trying to figure out why I can't see Facebook text, it looks like. Yeah. I can't see the comments right now, but one was asking about our old descender axles. The rear has 5mm play and can't figure out why. We haven't made a descender axle in 5 years plus, so are they used? I have no idea, to be honest. We'd have to see them. Is it missing something?
Yes.
Any ideas?
What?
I do know when we originally made them, they didn't have that. I mean, we wouldn't have done that. Unless there's something aftermarket happening. We can only work on our parts. We having technical difficulties? Yeah.
Is Facebook even on, Mike?
Mike was just checking to see why we can't see it, but he can't figure it out either. So again, if you're on Facebook and you're writing comments, we can't see them. Go to YouTube and write us a comment. Well, STX2 gears work in the rear HD44 axle.
Yes. All the STX2 gears will drop into any of our axles. Ring and pinion wise.
We work really hard to try to keep things as backwards compatible as possible. And sometimes we do have to make a change, but in most cases, we do focus on people having components that they can carry through a bunch of different projects.
Yeah. Just like the straight axle, all the STX2 knuckles will bolt right up to any of our straight axle.
And this is going to float your head. I mean, Dan is awesome. I am glad he takes care of my orders and all my PMs.
Mike does anything which you guys send in as an email, that is all Michael. I deal with the phone when I have to, and I deal with orders.
What lighting system is a black buggy using? Sorry, I thought you were talking about
this one's all Vanquish light bars, and then it has a EXO rear light in it that are impossible to find. You can use the bomber, you just have to do a little trimming, but they will work. But these light bars will be coming back on the shelf very soon. I have a whole bunch of them what I'm working on.
Can't read comments because technical is here again.
Tech support.
I'm gonna read one before he disappears. Are we sad that the Ultra and Pro are leaving?
Are we sad what?
Are we sad the Ultra and Pro are leaving?
The Pro is probably my favorite truck for a trail truck to drive, still to this day.
Yeah, great truck. I
was very lucky enough to take one of the before production trucks to Ohio and unveil it. And I let everybody who wanted to drive it in the middle of everything. I didn't care. That was more fun. But I have that truck to this day, and it's one of my favorite trucks to drive. And I use it for a lot of prototype testing. And I'm not nice to it by any means. And I don't think I've ever had anything fail but one shaft I had a pin lock out of. And I know why that happened, because I had a little too much stirring and I had a whole bunch of chatter.
It's not me, right? Okay.
But other than that,
6 minutes, you're gonna turn off.
Yeah.
it's been bulletproof. I mean, if any of you guys are on the fan page, there's always been a picture of it up on the front.
Well, for me, I think it's somebody says one of our first kind of really cool trucks, and I don't know, it's one of my lifelong dreams to made a vehicle. So
I still have
make cool axles for it.
yeah. Well, it's been cool. I've got to be part of going from a small shop to the bigger shop that we are now, and we're still a small shop, but I've got to be part of the growth for 8 years.
Yeah.
And it's been really cool to watch us grow. I know Jim was talking about it a couple weeks ago, but there's only one machine left in the shop that was here before me.
D&M?
The little brother in the corner.
Is that one?
That was the only one. Everything else has been.
The D&M was also before that, but yeah, 2 machines.
Okay, 2. Yeah, it was the D&M. We had just got the big brother right after I started, and then the PC-15, and then the big brother.
Yeah.
And the PC-15s. I don't know if you ever seen the video of me up on the flatbed truck wrapping the parts up, and Jim, don't be a fool, wrap your tool.
I can remember that.
I remember that.
Let's see. Seems kind of repeat question. Will the SX2 rear axle shafts work with the new HD44 rear axle housing?
Yes.
Should be yes, because it should be backwards compatible.
Yes.
We kind of build all those axles, which are to the same spec and same spec as the SX2. What offset are we putting in the 2.2s? I do not ask them. I'm assuming 375s or 350s.
These have 475s in them.
Yep, looks like 475.
And they could be anywhere from 350 to 475. It all depends on what is there more of on the they should be 475s right on this batch.
See a Phoenix Pro / Ultra? Nothing's in the works. I mean, we always have other projects in the works, so that's not one of them.
Yeah.
We're kind of going to be slowly retiring the Phoenix bodies and start pushing new stuff anyway. We've been running the Phoenix type body for years now.
And actually, we did kind of do one of those in the Trucks of Fortune.
What, by giving all the parts?
Yeah, they had all the opportunity to build their own.
Yeah. So basically, you can do that now with all the current axles.
Yeah. F10Ts, along with the.
We could take a current truck and you put F10Ts in, you have HD44s, we have F9 type housings. We have many options, the D44 ones.
Yeah.
So you have like 4 choices right now to kind of build your own.
Yes, and honestly, you can pick and choose if you want to run the D44, the HD44 on the front, and a D44 rear or an F9 rear. If you want that race look, run the offset front, because a lot of race trucks will run the offset slanted pumpkin in the front, and they run that F9 rear. It gives you that beefy look from the back, but it gives you the ability to get your low profile in the front.
And stuff like that, it should be just a complete drop-in. It's not.
Yeah,
we get to figure everything out. I mean, sometimes you have to do a little bit of pinion angle change, but
and most everything now swaps over so easy. It's really nice where you literally just be able to pull them out, slide all your parts in, and go. It makes it simple. This is probably one of my favorite axle housings right now.
Any kits come with machine axles in the future? Yes, I'm probably going to be doing it with the Ripper. New axle for it. I didn't say that. Josh didn't add this again.
I wish you could.
I already did the axle year.
I wish you could see what I've seen. That's all I could say. Jim's told you.
The same, retiring the Phoenix only. I mean, we've been running for a while. Maybe we'll buy more, but it's nothing set stone right now.
It's always time to keep going forward, you know.
I don't like the idea of selling parts without the coatings and stuff. It's a part of the finishing process, and material is not necessarily, it doesn't hold up after a while. You still need to coat them, otherwise they start changing colors too.
Yep.
It's kind of like a oxidation process.
That's why I took this one over, even though it's just off the machine. I didn't sandblasted it. Otherwise, it'll start getting a weird coating on it.
It's oxidation. It's kind of like rust for aluminum in a way. Everything kind of oxidizes.
So,
all right. Facebook's going to be turning off. So if you want to continue, please go over to YouTube. Yeah.
Done.
I'm teching
Good. I have a hard time turning my computer on.
Will we see offset mirrors or mirrored fronts in the near future? I think I did work on something for Brandon as a prototype. I haven't finished it yet. We do have some ideas for that because something like these little rock racer stuff where we want to pumpkins on the same side, make things a little easier.
Like
but it's not done yet. But it's just.
That was another reason I built this. Because I knew something was coming down. And sometime in the future, there's going to be something coming. I told myself, hey, if I build it.
I'm always building stuff.
That's what I mean. It's ready.
Sometimes these videos are kind of good for me because I kind of hear people talking about stuff and I already have projects in play and I just go finish them. And like we did the servo mount, I just went and finished them last week. I'm going. Mike actually got the rims plated for a new product technically. But it also goes to, charity. So it's good for them. Gonna make Griffin Bean. We're not gonna make you buy one unless you show us one built and running. Can we not let him buy one until he gets his up?
Yeah. You don't get anything till you actually build yours and drive it. I think you have to own a Ripper. If you own a Ripper free, you have to have one with a scratch in it. Otherwise, you don't get to purchase the new one. You have to show at least a scratch.
Undercarriage?
I don't care. You can scratch it anywhere you want. You can take the panel off and scratch in.
I can understand some people don't want to scratch it. Though.
Michael will never own a Ripper 2. His is up in his attic. He'll never take it down.
It's not for everyone. I understand they want to protect it. It's got value to it.
It's
a rarity. When
I got mine, I left it on a shelf for months and months and months. And somebody, I won't say who, said, "You're not going to drive it?" And I took it to the lake and I drove it straight in, head on into a rock. And everybody went, "What are you doing?" For scratch. It's done, out of the way. Let's go have fun.
The whole point is you like scale and things scale.
And now,
wasn't like the first truck to kind of like really have the body tied to the cage? That's what made it more real.
It's the sound you drive when driving through the rocks with that truck. When you hear it, if you've ever been to King of the Hammers or any of the other big events, and you hear that ting, tang, ting, ting, ting off the rocks, it sounds like a real steel truck hitting stuff, like the body pin. And it makes so much funner to drive.
Yeah. Can I buy a Ripper 2 if I don't Ripper 1? Yeah, of course.
Yes. That was only for Griffin. Griffin's the only one we're giving a hard time to.
We just started going to do things a lot differently. The first batches, I guess you want to call them, we had a lot of issues with kind of customer service. Josh had to talk to people for days.
Yeah.
It was sucking up so much of his time. That's why Josh announced he doesn't want to do Ripper again. I mean, everyone gives him a hard time, but he was the one handling all the conversations on that. And people who basically wanted custom this, custom that, and then they would change their mind.
Yeah. The Ripper project was a big deal when we started that. That was a lot on all you guys.
Yeah.
It was easy on me. I just had to ship them.
Well, at the time, I didn't think anyone would buy them. We were kind of doing it for fun, and then we decided to go and make a couple.
It was
a lot of work on him. So we're going to be doing things will be completely different. There will be no mailing for custom or whatever. We're going to have like a couple of colors of cages on the site and probably panels, and then you buy the color that are available, and then we'll just put them in a box, ship it.
Yeah.
So there's no 10 hours of conversation.
Changing colors after they go to the plater. And
changing colors after the plater. That happened a lot. And that was just like, we were getting ready to stop.
That was a big
making them because of that.
That was a big problem.
Josh just hates work. I agree.
I can't say that. Josh works as hard as going in circles as anybody I know.
I give him a hard time. He does a lot of behind the scenes stuff that doesn't get credit for.
Josh doesn't stop, even when he gets home.
That's for his own personal stuff, though.
Yeah. But that's the work.
But we give him a hard time, but he does a lot of, I don't think people realize, just like even helping out with EPA paperwork here, doing whatever, barcodes this, website, typing up all the stuff, making sure it's listed. A lot of coordination just takes a lot of busy work sometimes. Plastic cage ripper. You say it's cheaper, but cheaper for single purchase. Yes, we already have equipment, so it's easy for us to put a block of material instead of paying $150,000 in molds. Plastic is not exactly cheap either. Pink. Here's your new wheel there. Pink 2.2. If I make a 1/6 scale Phoenix, I'm going to make one for me. Maybe for Steve also. Anything else you want to talk about?
8 phone calls. If you make one 6 scale ripper, I'm just gonna disconnect the phone lines.
Well, recently I treated myself, and people follow my personal account, Ripper Machines on Instagram. I bought myself a TRX. I've been talking about that thing for over a year, probably.
Yeah.
I finally said, screw it, I'm getting too old. I'm going to buy it. But I was looking at CAD models for doing a body out of metal to make a Phoenix TRX. Just for myself. Someone's bringing up like the single wheel, why we don't do it. Basically, it's too bad. It's like, if we made singles, people would complain we didn't make doubles. If you didn't make doubles, why didn't you do fours? Well, if you didn't do fours, why didn't you do fives? We came up with 2. It was the best way for us to handle it because we don't want to. There's a lot more packaging to do 1 rim versus 2. It takes almost more work to do. To rather do 4, but then people want an extra rim once in a while. Purchase price of 2 is a lot easier than 4. So there's a lot of things that people will say stuff they don't realize. We actually have a lot of thought behind it. It's just not so easy and cut and dry. In most cases, majority of our wheels, probably 99.9% of wheels are 4s.
Yep.
So yeah, we could try to offer 1s, but it's a really small section with a lot of labor to do it.
We used to do the single.
Then storage.
Yes, we did the single thing for a little while, and it became such a hard thing to do because we'd always end up with 1 week, and it was like you just sit on it, and then we'd get the next batch, and it'd be just a little tiny bit different color variation, and you can't use it. So
that's another issue.
It's really hard to do that. And then where do I put them?
Charge a premium to get a single. Yes, let's buy them too.
Some hobby shops do sell singles.
Yeah, they will.
So a lot of the guys.
I'm also just joking with your name, but I'm just teasing you a little bit. But we do think about this stuff. It's not always so cut and dry, and we try to think what's best for everyone.
See what you started? 6 scale, 6 scale, 6 scale.
No, I love 6 scale. I don't think anyone would want to pay for a 6 scale if I made it.
That'd be hard.
Amount of material.
But you think about this, that company who does that gas monster truck thing, those are 4,000+, 5,000.
Yeah,
I know, but I'm just saying
they're not doing 3D. They're not doing 3D milled parts.
No. But I'm just saying people pay $4,500 for those like they're nothing. The Gravedigger's $5,000 or something.
We set to make sure something like that is a huge undertaking. Company has to make profit.
Yeah.
And that takes away, doing a huge project like that takes away from everything else we're doing.
I look at it this way: if somebody's willing to pay $8,000 for a ripper now.
Yeah, but how many of them are
there? That's the point.
Maybe there's a huge market. I don't know. I would love to do more custom stuff, but
Jim's gonna have one.
I would buy many if you made it. You guys aren't helping me. I'm just gonna go in the office and hit scale Actually, a long time ago, me and Josh did talk about 1/6 scale, and there was a huge undertaking to what it would take. This is also before Axial came out with theirs, and so back then we were trying to figure out like how would we power it, what tires are available. I mean, there was a lot of stuff. It's like how much money do we want to spend on molds to get the necessary items like tires or whatever. Are we doing Lexan body? I mean, everything goes up in order of magnitude in costs. It's not so simple if you scale something up by double. The price doesn't just go up and double; it actually can go 4 or 5 times higher.
Because there's no cheaping out on it. You couldn't. There's no way to.
I wouldn't cheap out.
That's what
I
I
would
mean.
try to do it right. So
There's no way to. You'd have to use the best of the best to make it.
mini Vanquish 18 or 24 would be super cool. I agree. We have talked about a house. We have nothing in the works though, but we would love one. Brandon's pretty much the main person who handles putting all the projects together, and he's the one person.
18 scale, 24 scale.
No, we would love to, but it's just we only have so many people.
Yeah, no.
We only have, me and Brandon do most of the design work. Brandon is the only one capable right now because I don't run SolidWorks to be able to really put full models together and handle overseas and do all that stuff. So each project could take 3 months minimum. That's not without even doing all the drawings. I mean, I would say it takes them probably a good 6 to 8 months to do a truck, and so
And that's before it even goes anywhere. That's just,
for a ground up. I mean that would be very tight. That's the only thing he's working on.
yeah.
Meanwhile, he's working on 5 different projects at once. He's also helping taking photography for pictures and stuff for us. He does a lot.
Before anything goes on the site, somebody has to take a picture of it, do the barcodes for it, and that's where Brandon and Josh do. Nobody sees any of that.
And if it's also a big project like a vehicle, like videos, we talk joking about Josh. Josh does the video editing for us. That's a lot. It's a solid day of, oh yeah, you're going outside just to play with RC cars. But I've been there and helped them out, and it's work.
Plus the instructions and all that. That's a giant undertaking by itself.
Instructions are a lot of.
Now getting to see from start to finish on kits, it's pretty cool. What a lot of people don't understand what it all takes to make it all happen.
Yeah. The good news is we always have more coming.
Yeah.
But, we're always working on something. We're never dead in the water. I think we'll have a pretty exciting year, maybe sooner.
The next year.
Can't let out too many secrets though. There's something exciting coming this month.
No, but the next year has a really big smile in it.
Yes.
All the way through. I mean, so that's all I think about it as well because I know what's coming. And
the aluminum block start is for 1/6. I have no idea that to take measurements. The current Ripper 2 is almost 20 inches long by 6 inches tall. So I don't know how much bigger the 1/6 would get. Actually, 17 inches long. Harley Designs peeking on me after I did say good things about him.
yeah.
So I don't feel so bad.
Why is he on there? Tell Josh to get back to work.
How much time involved in upscaling Phoenix to 1/6? To be honest, I don't know. You can't. It's not so simple as just hit scale. Because once you hit scale, then you got to look at every fastener, every adjustment that has to be made. You have to kind of go through the whole vehicle. You have to rebuild every shaft, every shock has to be redesigned. You have to make sure the O-rings are sized right. There's a lot more to it. If we had something, if Axel gave me all the CAD for a SCX6 and I just scaled the thing to fit their stuff, a little easier because they did all the work. It's not so simple as just saying scale up by 200%, I think.
We went full Vanquish.
Nothing's in the works. We're not even starting rumors. I'm telling you straight up, nothing is in the works. It's a lot of money, and also the boxes are bigger. You get less parts per
It's not
container.
rumors. It's just if we keep pressuring you at some point, you're going to be like, all right, fine.
No, has to make sense. All right, what else do we got?
That's what it's sitting in front of you. Think of that.
Are more capper axles going to be made? I thought we still had stock.
We were waiting on shafts. Now that the machine is back up and running,
We're not making any more axles though. It's what we have in stock.
yes, but we needed the shafts.
Okay,
We have all the parts. We're just waiting on shafts.
so
Now that the citizen's back up.
so yes, there will be more capper axle sets. Just waiting on parts.
Yeah.
So, but we're going through all the hubs right now, so still be a little bit of time.
Yeah.
This guy here, who's with us today? We have.
I'm Dan. This is Jim.
Well, which probably knows me if you met.
We're for machinist at his
Yeah.
finest.
Dan's my in-house tester of everything part and does all the shipping. He's the shipping manager and handles the back room. I just plan on Ripper 2 to be the same ballpark. I would not suggest that's going to be anything close, to be honest. The prices that we did originally do them for were way underpriced. I did it more for fun than anything. That was kind of a mistake. It really was. And so it'd be hard. We're just, like I said, we don't charge for design time, set up machines, and all the programming. We basically charge for material, material costs, plating costs, how long does it take to go on a machine, and how much cycle time that is, and that kind of adds up all the costs. What it's going to be is I don't know yet, but there's no way it would be the original cost. One, the original cost, it's not the same vehicle. It will be sold as a complete roller, so everything would be complete for once. The other way it was not.
Yeah, everybody's got to remember the original was just a cage and panels.
Yep.
So
A lot less parts too. The new one will have more parts, and it's just gonna be done differently. But sometimes I just do stuff the way I want it done for myself, and that's the way it'll be sold. Some people will buy it, some people won't. I mean,
Right.
it's more about a fun project. It's not, but it still has to make sense a little bit. All right, what else we got? Bumper to bumper is like 30 inches on the S66. That's a big block of material. You have to do it in stages on vertical now. We don't have we have to build a custom fixture on horizontal or something. Like I said, but I'm not working on anything. Oh, there's down some. Dan's signature on many of the invoice.
Right. Yeah. Yes, you do, sir.
How are we going to deal with the hundreds of rippers? Well, we're going to have it in production, and we're going to make until people basically stop buying and make a couple extra and call it quits. I don't think that's unfair. We're not going to. There will be a number we will stop for sure, but I don't know what that number is yet. So yeah, RPP sells Vanquish wheels as singles. They're kind of smart to do that.
Yeah.
And break it up. Makes our life a little easier. Helps with our stock situation too. We only have so much space. If we were also go back to the single thing, if we were supposed to go to single rims, that's gonna take up another rack of shelves.
Yeah. We just redid the whole wheel side of my room. And I was like, we got all kinds of stuff. No.
I'll adjust the HD 44 portables. I will have to make them. Haven't worked on them yet since last conversation. This sounds like a good idea. I'm just been buried trying to get Ripper programming done so I can get to my first prototypes and then see how that goes.
He also talked and, he took the time, finished this, made sure it was ready to go.
There was a couple other jobs that I finished, so
Yeah,
some stuff we haven't shown yet.
there is a lot of, once he gets in here in the morning, he doesn't stop. He's on his computer looking at lines.
I only stop when people come to my office and they talk. Like, shut up, leave my office.
His little computer has lines everywhere. And
Deposit for V2? No, we're not taking any deposits. We don't. We're going to try not to go that route. We don't want to have people's money. It becomes another customer service nightmare. I sent you my money. I want my product. Blah blah. And it's just we're going to make it available as a product when it's ready, which could be anywhere from probably first quarter to second quarter or second half of next year.
you guys will be the first to know.
Someone's trying to take your testing for Ripper 2 job.
Yeah, okay. No. That's my one perk. I've always got that perk, and I've always loved that part of it.
On the Phoenix Portal Kit, it comes with the shorter back half of tiny housing. Is there a way to delete optional dig and OD select? I think talking about the extra pieces.
That's part of the mold, the original mold. It's all one, and it was.
Yeah, so we made a new mold for the version 2 base.
Yes.
But he's asking if he can. You'd have to get all the internal components though.
You'd be better off just getting a transmission kit, a BPS 1052 or 152, whether the Pro Kit.
We're trying to look at making
an adapter.
Yeah, just a little kit of all pieces. Right now, I don't think there's a way of doing it.
You need a gear set. You need the back housing. So you'd pretty much 80% of the transmission, because all you can use is from the front 2 gears forward. You couldn't use any of the back.
Yep.
So
which means all the shafts are different.
Yeah. You have to buy the new shaft set. You have to buy the new gear set.
Will there be a limit on the amount of rippers we can buy at once? Most likely. I have nothing set in stone yet. We're going to be figuring out as we go. We're just fixing some stuff. Version 2s will be serialized. Before we did it again by laser, which Josh had to kind of hand write each laser file, which sucked up a lot of time, more than we would have liked. So I will be writing a program to serialize at the machine, whatever part we decide. I haven't decided where to put it yet. Right now, I'm just putting all the parts together and
machine it into everyone.
No, I don't want to have all those parts because that's too hard to track sometimes. And if something goes wrong with one part, the scrap becomes an issue. When is Steve coming on? He probably would come on.
Steve, if he wasn't in inertia right now, he probably would have been on today.
Probably could have. So everyone's gone in the shop because they're all in Vegas for a show called NERSA. That's why I'm on again, which I'm not really.
And that's why you get me.
I'm not comfortable in front of the camera. This is not who I am, but I'm filling the gap. We wanted to do this, so here we are. And Dan's helping me fill that spot too. But all the rest of the guys are pretty much gone except for me, Dan, and Mike.
Yeah, we figured you were sick of Mike already, so.
I'm sure he'll be on eventually. We'll be doing more. What gearing for DFD trans with AR45 straight axles?
I would run the stock gearing for it, the 5614.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be.
I mean, that's what I run my Pro, and that's what you're going to get.
You should have most of the stock gears anyway. Just try it out and see what you need from there.
Yeah. It should be real close. A lot of it depends on motor too.
So someone said you guys are great on camera. I'm really not good at it's talking to a wall. I don't think people realize how hard it is. It's like to make conversations. Josh is very comfortable. He's been doing it for such a long time. I've rewatched some of the videos I did the last couple of weeks, and I know, so I look down too much. It looks like my eyes are closed. It's so hard to look up, and I also have to read comments and then stare over there. It's not easy.
And I'm on the backside, so if I look at the computer, I'm looking backwards. Everything happens backwards.
You're focused on the wrong thing, though.
I know.
It's not. That's
But if I turn
backwards is one thing, but up and down, looking down at stuff.
Yeah. You know why Josh is so good at it? He always has something in his. He's always, if you watch him, he's always got his hands going.
Well, he's not trying to read comments. He's also talking to a camera.
Yeah,
which
he's focused.
Again, he's got more practice, and he's obviously very comfortable with it.
Practice does a great job.
Do you form the plastic axle housing there, and how is the process of that? No, plastic axles are injection molded. We do not do injection molding in here. We make metal parts here. Injection molding and Lexan, all those other plastic parts are made in Taiwan. It's not our specialty, so it's either we don't do anything and we lose some market share, or we use Taiwan to help complement what we do here? We're probably mostly becoming more of an aftermarket part company for our own vehicles and other vehicles we like.
I will say, if you look at our plastic, though, our plastic is probably some of the best plastic on the market.
Design-wise, we put a lot into the process. And how many axles have you ever had to warranty because it was broken?
None.
I think there was one.
When we found out the 3-link, the panhard was pulled out, we put a nut on the back of it immediately.
Mhm.
Fix that.
That's a learning process.
Yeah, and that was, I think, the only, can anything break? Yeah, I can break everything. Everybody's like, oh, no, I can break it. Trust me. Give me it. I'll show you.
Well, it's kind of funny is some of the testing will actually use Brandon's kids.
Yeah,
and they drive him around he has like a couple acres and they just plow and everything. That's part of the testing because like usually good drivers will jump and try to land flat, where these kids are
yeah, no.
Makes good testing though.
Yep. You just throttle wide open and just tell them go and just let them head for the rock pile. And that's how you test parts. You'll let them bind it up and see what happens. If it's going to come out the other side or it's going to break.
Nick Pinnett said thank you because he's been 3 years sober because a lot of what we're doing.
Thanks.
Like, I kind of borrow what you do too.
Yeah.
Like RC's kept Dan saying,
And I partied like a rock star for 20 years and I've been clean and sober for 15.
hey, congratulations, that's a good thing to hit.
And I tell everybody all the time, this is what keeps me normal to a certain, as normal as can be. Just having fun playing with toy cars.
What else will you be doing? I mean, what hobby? You enjoy this. It's a lot of us do.
I don't think, with me, it's this or I'm out watching Ultra 4 races. I love doing King of the Hammers. But I like going out and just hanging out with friends, playing with toy cars. That's my thing. I love going to events. Josh likes going to the booth.
Also, you meet a lot of good people in this industry.
I go when I'm out in the field. I'm the guy, Josh. You'll see Josh at the booth anytime. You'll find me out on the rocks.
Yeah.
And it works well when we go to events together. So
this guy, because this actually is kind of what started this company. Bart, also having built RC cars since the 80s, your plastics are excellent. My first vehicle was a Blackfoot, and I would break those knuckles every weekend. And that's pretty much every car we do. I build metal knuckles first because I spent so much money into Maya for, I think it was like $17 for the stupid parts tree that had all this useless other crap on it. I think they did it on purpose.
what's funny is if you listen to it, most of us you had a Blackfoot. I had the Subaru Brat was my first car.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
They're almost identical. They changed the wheels and tires and the body. Everything else I think was the same. And I see Tamiya still putting out that same style car, and I go, I won't. I don't know why.
Yeah, but you wouldn't drive it like we would.
No,
back then, it's the only car I had.
I don't want to drive it. I just want to build it.
So again, that started my love of RCs, which I got a Kyosho afterwards, and then I traded those two for a Bruiser. And from there, I just love skating. To me, I just love the suspension and how everything works, and so it kind of got me into it.
I got into the racing side of it when I was young, and it was fun. I had a lot of fun doing it. I went down the rabbit hole of the pro rig when the pro comp rigs came around. I got a Berg, and it went spiraling out of control after that.
So we have like less than 2 more minutes, and we have to close up. Some of us have to run to go with their kids to school.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got before we head out. Tamiya Sand Scorcher. That was an awesome car. I remember my friend had one. I was so jealous. He never even drove in it, did anything with it, didn't even respect it. I was like, I want that.
Still to this day, still living.
Maybe that'd be like a new Ripper, it'd be a new Baja buggy. No.
I'm gonna go get a Sand Scorcher for you and put it on your desk.
I always liked the Sand Scorcher. I thought Tamiya did a great job on this stuff. That's nuts. No.
New in the box. Wait. So yes, Tamaya is still around.
But that's basically a black foot, and I know the knuckles are going to break.
Yes. So they're still around. I mean, no matter what, the Tamayas have been around forever. I mean,
They do a good job with their bodies and hard work. I mean, they're something we can still learn from.
very primitive car, but they still, to this day, you still get a smile when you get one in your hand like this.
Like I said, the artwork of the kids always love them. So, all right. So it's 4:00. I have to run to go to take my kid to college. So we're gonna have to call it here. Thanks for showing up.
All right, guys, have a good day.